This is the reading of the sacred text, Ecclesiastes 3, 1 through 13. Everything has its time. For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to throw away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to seek and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. The God-given task. What gain have the workers from their toil? I have seen the business that God has given to everybody to be busy with. He has made everything suitable for its time. Moreover, He has put a sense of past and future into their minds. Yet they cannot find out what God has done from the beginning to the end. I know that there is nothing better for them than to be happy and enjoy themselves as long as they live. Moreover, it is God's gift that all should eat and drink and take pleasure in all their toil.
So I hope everybody had a chance to look at the words out there and maybe pick one or two or 4 or 10 or however many you picked. I wanted to just kind of talk about each of the words that were out there. So I hope that you might help me and kind of talk about what this word might mean. The first one is planting. What might that mean for a 2017? Physical planting, right? Planting seeds, gardens, that sort of thing. What else? Yeah, loving attitude toward other people. New ideas. What about breaking down? Is it time to break down in 2017? Barriers. Yeah, it might be physical breakdown, right? You might feel that way sometimes. Stigma. Good. Mourning. Saying goodbye. It might be just not mourning the death of someone, but mourning the death of something you've given up on. And that's okay to do that. Embracing.
Giving a person a hug.
Simply a hug. But also thinking about new ideas, thinking about that which is different and making it a part of your life. Throwing away stuff. Cleaning. Bad thoughts. Yeah. What about peacemaking? I made extra copies of that. I thought people might take it up. Dying. There's a time for that. My roots are showing. No. Right? But there's also, there's a time for that. There's things that, I was thinking when Deb was reading about a time to kill. There's never a time to kill, is what I thought. And then I thought, the venison I had for dinner on Christmas Day was pretty tasty, right? There's a time for that in a respectful way. Healing. I made extra copies of this one too. Healing. Healing that which is broken, physically, mentally, the world. Laughing. Gathering. Right? Bringing together. Birthing. Right? Making, yeah, exactly. Bringing forth that which is new. What about ending? Ending those bad habits, right? Relationship, the toxic stuff, let's get rid of it. Speaking out. I made extra copies of this one too, right? I know you guys. Harvesting. Not just crops and seeds and that sort of thing, but harvesting ideas, building up, not tearing down. Dancing. There's often a time for dancing, right? All right. This is two of them. Refraining and seeking. Is there a time to refrain? Yeah. Seeking. Keeping silence. There's a time for that occasionally, right? Okay. Now, one of the things I like best about this time of year is getting a new calendar. Liam and I went to Spring Grove yesterday, and I knew before we got there what kind of calendars we would pick out. I knew that I would probably pick out a landscape or nature calendar, something watery and woodsy, and I would have put money on it that Liam would have picked this calendar. Show him. Oceans. That's his thing. That's his thing. Now, some people prefer flower calendars. Some people like kittens or puppies or funny cartoons, right? You have a pretty good idea that if you had to go in and buy a calendar, what it would be? Yeah? Most everybody? Okay. I like to look through all the pictures of the calendar. Let's open this one up. So I like to look through it, look at all the pictures, right? Oh, this one's got extra months. Look at all the pictures, and then I start to think, wow, that's a lot of days, right? A lot of days in the year. 365, as we know. It's not a leap year, right? 365 days this year. I did a little math, and I found out that there are 250 work days for most people in 2017. 180 school days, give or take, right? I didn't calculate the hours or the amount of laundry that we will have to do in 2017, but I do start to think about all the things that need to get done and all the problems there are to be solved, right? And all the places to go, and all the grocery shopping, and all the homework, and all the loads of laundry that I have to do. And it can make your head swim, right? If you think about it in terms of everything that you're going to have to do in the next 364 days. But you know what? God doesn't want us to think about all those 365 days in the coming year. With all the work that is to be done and about all the problems that there are to be solved and all the places to go and all the shopping and the laundry and the chores, God reminds us to slow down and focus. There's enough of God's work to do today that'll keep us busy. So think about the Bible passage that was read, the song that we sang. For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die. Plant, heal, cry, laugh. A time to dance. A time to keep quiet, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time for war, and a time for peace. This message tells us that there is a certain time for each thing, and not everything all at once. If you hang up your calendar this year, you're going to mark off this coming week before it even happens. You're going to rip out the whole month of March. You're going to do it one day at a time. So don't worry about the next 364 days. We need to live this day and to prepare for the next things we need to do. Now, I'm not saying don't plan for the future, because certainly we need to do that. We have to look towards what needs to get done, but we need to focus on living today, not worrying about what might happen. Take one problem at a time, one load of laundry, one homework assignment, one book. The famous author, Leo Tolstoy, said that there are three important things. Now is the most important time because it is the only time that you have any power. Now. And the most important people to be with are the people you're with now. The most important thing to do is to do good. Now, with the people you're with, to do good. There's so much to do in 2017, so many memories, and so many good things to work for, and so many dreams to fulfill, that if we can do it and stay focused and do them one at a time, then we will be able to work together to make God's dream a reality. Now, if you took a resolution card or a word today, you can hold it up and think about it, look at it. What needs to happen for you in order for the time you have hoped for to be fulfilled? What needs to happen for you? What changes do you need to make that happen? What new things do you need to embrace? What do you need to let go of to make those happen? I encourage you to think about those, not only today, but going forward.